until I received some decent paycheck for the first time in my life. It took 10 years. Anyway, so you might take this as an opportunity to further improve your professional qualifications and the furtherment of your professional career. As I said, college education does not ensure you job opportunities or professional qualifications. You get the qualification, but it doesn't mean that you get the job. And you use, in a situation like this, as an opportunity to improve your qualifications. Now, when my son, who is in, again, Ken mentioned, is a lawyer in Oakland, California, heard that I'll be making this presentation to you. She sent me by YouTube a commencement speech made by the Steve Jobs, you know, the Apple guy. So I watched it, and I wasn't that impressed. He spent whole time talking about his career, his own achievements, and so forth. Nothing significant in terms of his commitment in life for the society, paying back the society for the education he received. But then I noticed that in his speech that he's a college dropout. So he dropped out college and became a billionaire and became very famous, making a commencement speech at Stanford of all places. Anyway, so I looked up further, and I noticed that most of billionaires in the last, say, 5 years in our country are all college dropouts. Give you an example of, what's his name? Mark Zuckerberg, you know, the Facebook, or Frank Dell of Dell Corporation, the computer guy, and of course Microsoft guy, Bill Gates, and they're all college dropouts. Maybe you missed your chance of becoming billionaire by dropping out from school in 2 years. But of course, I'm just joking. So I'm going to give you a few comments with a limited time. I try to be as inspirational as possible, which is a big order for me. If I fail to delivering my message, I'm originally from Korea, so I might just do here a Gangnam Style dance, and and I'm sure all of you will join me, and then I call it quit. College education or higher education in this country, to my way of thinking, gives you an opportunity to be an independent thinker and a love for lifelong quest for knowledge. So the people who follow this definition of college education are the people who should be your role model, not Steve Jobs or the Frank Zuckerberg. And those are the people who use the college education, further developed their professional career, and made their name and contributed to our society and human being. Those are the names I can mention to you. I'm sure you are aware: Albert Einstein, the Jonas Salk of the Salk magazine, maybe in political area, Mahatma Gandhi of India, people like John F. Kennedy in politics, Roosevelt. And these are the people that you should follow as a role model, not Steve Jobs or Zuckerberg. Can you imagine? You may, I may be wrong, but can you imagine Frank Zuckerberg getting a Nobel Prize? So this is where your role model should be defined. Second qualification I think that college education provides you with is a way of independent thinking. It makes you think independently. So I will give you a few examples of what independent thinkers would do. And sometimes they may be wrong, but the fact that education provided you with you qualification or ability to think independently. On every affair, there are pros and cons, and coin both sides in the events. For example, if we give you an example, 9/11, September 11 event, it's a terrible event that like 2,000 or 3,000 people lost their lives momentarily, and I still see people jumping out of windows of World Trade Center and to a certain death. So this is the fact. But the other side of the coin might be, that you think about, might be what's going through in the minds of those 20 or 24 terrorists, the hijackers, the moment they hijacked the plane, hit the building of World Trade Center. What were they thinking about in their mind? Now, so they hate us so much that they give up their lives and to commit such a heinous crime. But then, why are they hating us so much? Isn't that something that we have to look into, rather than right away saying we got to find Osama bin Laden and kill him? That's an independent way of thinking. Second example, maybe Iraq war that ensued 9/11. Iraq war had been the longest foreign war this country ever had. We spent billions and billions of dollars, and 6,000 precious lives of young people are gone. And the other day I was watching CNN, and they showed a picture of Iraq war veteran who lost both legs. So he was walking in an artificial limb, and I heard that there are about 1,500 people who are like that. So we made terrible sacrifices for that war. But no one mentioned, the other side of the coin is no one mentioned about the fact that there were 200,000 Iraqi people who perished during this war. And what kind of thinking their family, their parents may think about United States. So we have to think about that kind of thing. I mean, they hate us so much that when our president made a press interview, one of them threw his shoes at him. So we have to think about that aspect of it. So the other side of the coin. Another example would be that this year we are spending $600 billion in our defense budget. And that is much bigger than 9 other countries that follow us. Their defense budget all combined. We're spending that much money. Well, maybe we need it to defend our country, defend our flag, and defend our Constitution. I don't know. But we have to think in terms of 20 miles down south here. There are people whose standard of living is below that of Third World War people. There are people, half of those people living down there, 20 miles from here. They have high blood pressure, diabetes, and they don't even know about it. So that kind of a way of thinking, independent thinking, endows you as a result of college education. And I want you to remember that many times independent thinking may not be the correct way, but it gives you a second thought on many events that involve our country. Now, today is your commencement day. The word commencement means beginning or entering. So you are entering into United States American society. So I will mention a little bit about our country. Well, before I do that, I want to tell you this. December 15, today, your commencement day, you are entering into a new career. So it will be like your birthday. So you have 2 birthdays from now on. Your real birthday when you're born, date you're born, and December 15, your birthday. So you're born here today intellectually and entering into our society. United States of America, with all the flaws and shortcomings, is still the best country in the world. You got to take my word for it. It is not the best country and number 1 country in the world, not because it's wealth, size of GDP, size of population, amount of natural resources we have in our land, not on account of those, but because of the fact that this is one country that stands out, that practice true democracy in its true words. Number one country that practices democracy. It is a country where there's a guy sitting in the White House who has a very complicated, complex ethnic background. But we people support him, elected him, and we depend on his leadership. We have a very diverse ethnic background in our society as a whole, but to a large extent, everybody has equal opportunities. And that is what makes our country the best in the world. There's one other factor that I want to mention to you that makes our country the best in the world. That is its institutions of higher education, like Oakland University. You may not know this, but there are millions of people in foreign countries all over the world who would pay everything, do anything, to be able to come to this country and attend universities and colleges here. Because we are the best in the world. There's no point to dispute that. Nobody disputes that. Now, when they come here and receive our education, and then when they return, they become instant member of the elite system there. Either that be a politician or scientist or academic career. The fact that they graduated from universities and colleges in the United States of America entitled them for that qualification upon their return. This is one of the reasons they want to all come here. You also know as a fact, 90% of basic science knowledge bases that on which our 21st century technology development is based came from institutions of higher education, universities and colleges in this country. So we have, in a manner of speaking then, by virtue of the fact that you guys are born in this country, in Michigan, and have a citizenship, you had ready access to this highest quality educational institution and educational system. So you have to be proud of it. At the same time, you have to feel indebted to the institution of higher education in this country. So you will be joining as a member of alumni Oakland University, and that should also be a great honor to you. And think in terms of never forgetting that you are an alumni Oakland University. This is where your professional, intellectual life began. You know, I'm known for coming up with crazy ideas very often, and many of my crazy ideas are that is crazy. But some of them are useful. On my way driving here in the fog, I thought about this. Maybe Oakland University or any other institution of higher education in this country should establish something I might call Alumni Memorial Park, so that in the area of the campus we'll designate as eternal resting place for our alumni who choose to be enshrined here. So we will, they will join us forever. At the same time, their lifetime financial gains they made, he will return it to the university. So the university will benefit that way as well. So I thought about that. Anyway, my time is limited, I think. So again, I offer you congratulations. And God bless you. God bless your future career. God bless Oakland University. And God bless America. Thank you.